my regret happened this year, but like Starley's, it started a while ago when I was 13, and this may shock you, but I was not the most popular kid back in middle school. To give you a little sense, I spent a lot of time with polyhedral dice. If anyone knows this, little Dungeons and Dragons reference. So I played some Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway. I was not, when it came time for the bar mitzvah circuit, I was not on the A list. And the height of the bar mitzvah circuit was this girl, the coolest girl in our grade, and the prettiest girl, Lisa Peskin, not a real name. And she was having, like, this was going to be the Vanity Fair Oscar party of bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, I guess. And I still, to this day, I have no idea what happened in that bat mitzvah. I imagine there was some Coke and Pepsi. Larry Ozone was probably playing. He was like the top bar mitzvah DJ at the time. There might have been some frottage in the bathroom. That's just, maybe that's a fantasy of mine. But anyway, that was, I don't know. I don't know what happened because I was not invited. But what I do know is that the parting gift at this bat mitzvah, was a T-shirt. And the T-shirt said Lisa Peskin. And then it had a list of everyone who was invited to the bat mitzvah on it. So it was like a Vietnam War memorial, but instead of dead soldiers, it was popular kids. So every day, someone else in the class would wear the T-shirt. So I had, like, every day a very concrete visual reminder that I was a total fucking loser. So, this was difficult, and I eventually got over it, but I became a writer, as Jesse mentioned. And in one of my books a couple of years ago, I was talking about a traumatic incident at work where my boss made me, I work at Esquire, and my boss made me pose nude for the magazine. That's another story. But this one, I compared it in the book to other humiliating episodes in my life, one of which was the bat mitzvah T-shirt saga. And, I thought about changing the girl's name, but I'm like, she'll never see it. And also, she had a very funny, it was like a funny Jewish name, and it had a lot of, like, K's in it. And I'm like, I kind of just went for the funny sounding name, and I was like, she'll never see it. So cut to this year, I went to my high school reunion for the first time. And, I was having some interesting conversations. Oh, you're a medieval scholar. That's interesting. I learned that this one guy I know, a friend of mine, would masturbate in the school boiler room 3 times a day. So that was very interesting. He liked boilers. So I was having a good time, and then all of a sudden, I forget what I called her. Lisa Peskin came up, and she marched towards me with her finger, and she's like, "I've got a bone to pick with you." And I'm like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." And she said, "Do you know what happens when someone Googles my name? What is the first thing that comes up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think I might know." And she's like, "Yeah, it comes up that I had a bat mitzvah, and I didn't invite you, and I had a T-shirt with," and I'm like, oh. And that's what every prospective employer sees when they Google her. It's like a Rick Santorum situation. Without quite as much semen and fecal matter. That's, if you don't know the Rick Santorum, it's definitely interesting, worth Googling. So anyway, I feel terrible because this, there should be a statute of limitations for something she did when she was 13, and with the internet, there is no statute of limitations. These things follow you around, and I'm an idiot, and I shouldn't have done it. But I will say that if any of you guys have a bar mitzvah and don't invite me, I'm going to fucking write about it, so don't mess with me. That's it. That's my regret. Thank you very much.